Hello and welcome to the C Collective podcast mid-season finale. This is a little interview with Rach McDermott and Tori Clarkson of the documentary that's coming out this summer called I Tried to Dance It Away. We chat about the documentary, what it's about, and get that list of recommendations as per usual. Not too long this interview, so enjoy, sit back, get comfy, and prepare to educate yourselves, okay?
Yeah, no, it's boiling. I've got the box room in our house, so it's always just scorching.
It's toasty.
Yeah. So is Tom about
nice
then?
One.
Is he just chilling?
Not here with us now. He's sorting out the house delivery. It's basically like when you were about to phone this like other random number, and I was like, oh, it's probably Henry. He gave me a really enthusiastic hello, and it's just the house delivery man. He's just like, oh my god. So awkward. Yeah, that's where Tom is now.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've chatted. Well, I thought I'd just ring and do a few questions for this little podcast. I thought it might be quite interesting for people to hear about it. I thought it sounded like quite a cool documentary.
Oh yeah, Tom told us that you were interested. So yeah, like if you want to spread the word as much as possible.
Yeah.
Just about the issues and stuff.
So you good to go with questions
email
now?
And not minor. Yeah. It's just generally about documentary.
It's pretty loose. I was just gonna ask a few questions about it and just have a chat really.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Alright, well, first of all, for people who perhaps don't know too much about it yet, could you give us a quick synopsis of the documentary and what it's about?
Yeah, so it's called I Tried to Dance It Away, and it basically is just kind of discussing the lack of representation of female identifying and non-binary DJs in dance music. So we've kind of interviewed a variety of DJs locally and kind of asked them for their experiences with other males within the same kind of field.
Yeah. And so what's your main aim of the documentary? Is it just to highlight inequalities and push some specific artists, or is it that deserve more credit, or is it just something to make people think about these issues?
Well, I think we started off thinking about the documentary with just the idea of, as two females, when we were out, it's so rare to see females
on the lineup.
Yeah. So it's that started off as being the issue. So that's something that we sort of wanted to talk about. But at the same time, neither of us are DJs. So if we sort of came at it from a very specific angle, it wouldn't really be truth in a sense. We're sort of putting words in other female and non-binary DJs' mouths. So we sort of interviewed people and kept the questions quite open.
Yeah.
Sort of loosely asking just about how they felt about in different scenarios and things.
Because obviously we're not assuming that everybody has kind of experienced sexism within dance music, or whether that's playing or whether that's kind of having experienced nights out and stuff. So we wanted to kind of let people fill in their own blanks. There's one gal that we interviewed, and she kind of had only really very positive things to say about working with other male DJs.
Oh, really?
So it's kind of, we try to keep it as unbiased as possible, really, with still kind of giving space to discuss a really prominent issue. Yeah,
that's actually, that seems like a more interesting way of going about it, I suppose, because then you might unearth sort of points of view and different angles of looking at this that you might not have thought about going into it. So that's a pretty interesting way of doing it.
Yeah, whenever we've got the issue, but we haven't really scripted it as such. So all the scripting will happen in like the editing process. So we'll actually look at what we've got and then find a narrative that runs through what everyone else is saying.
Kind of common themes to everyone.
Yeah, so we can't really like, we don't have like a conclusion as of yet because we're still like filming interviews and things, so it's still kind of
and I imagine when we're finished we won't necessarily even have like a conclusion because the issue is ongoing. We're not obviously we're not going to fix like plug to the hole. It's just kind of highlighting the fact that there is a lack of that. We are a minority in the whole kind of origin of dance music is to be inclusive to everybody. You know, primarily minorities kind of started in that sense, and actually we've been forced out of that, and it's very kind of like white cis male at the moment, which is kind of well, it's bullshit.
Well, that's really interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. How long is this going to be? Is it going to be an hour-long feature, or is it short, or what can we expect?
We're going to keep it quite short, actually, because basically the goal of the documentary is just to get it out there as much as possible, because, you know, obviously we just want to raise awareness.
Yeah.
So we want to put it into a lot of festivals and short film festivals.
But
cool. They want nothing longer than 15 minutes, so we're going to keep it short and sweet. But if we get more stuff we want to include, we'll be collective.
So I run like an online site called Collective, and it's kind of an ever-growing space for people to submit any form of work, whether it's written or visual, with regarding kind of sexism and inequality. So whatever kind of material we don't get to fit into the 15-minute short, we will be able to kind of make either other filmed or visual media, or we can kind of write it up. But it won't go to waste. Everything kind of will be used because it's all relevant and important. So
we just make a little think piece or something.
So there'll be potentially like a director's cut. Yeah, sweet.
A platinum version.
Special edition. And what was that website called? Sorry, just so that people can check it out.
The Galactive.
Yeah,
it's a Wix. But yeah, you can find it. The handle is just the Galactive on Instagram, and the link is on the Instagram. So
I'll put a link to that in the description for this little podcast then.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I'm definitely going to check that out. I've got a couple of questions.
We're open to submission, so just give me whatever you like, and I will feature. So.
Oh, that's really inclusive way of doing it as well. Yeah, I like that. So I've got a couple of questions here from another member of the collective, Charles, who Tori, you know, obviously.
Yes.
And he's got a couple of questions about the process of making a documentary itself, and he asks, documentary making has been mastered from several different angles, up front and confrontational, like Michael Moore, or invisible but omnipresent by like Werner Herzog. Do you take inspiration from any other documentarians, or is this more of an experiment where you were finding your own way and finding your own way of doing things, or did you look somewhere else for a certain style for this?
Well, I think I don't think we really had like a filmmaker in mind. It was more just sort of the process itself. Like, I feel like just sort of the idea of truth within documentary is just quite a contentious one. Like, and everyone has all these different approaches to it. Obviously, we're dealing with like a really sensitive.
Of course,
Not really. It's pretty like sensitive area, you know, where people feel underrepresented or don't feel that they're represented correctly. So there's a lot of. It was more sort of a lot of moral decisions with regards to documentary that I think we sort of took, like what we said before.
Trying to keep it as kind of the narrative towards itself. Most important thing, isn't it? And I think as well as kind of talking about the fact that it's a sensitive issue and wanting to represent the people who are less represented fairly, I think there's also an art to delivering a message like this that is so controversial that doesn't then make the people who feel like the other group feel attacked. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously a lot of kind of cis white males can potentially get quite offended. You know, the whole kind of
being attacked.
It's kind of like actually not about that. It's just about making every person represented and every person heard, because everybody should be taken on merit and not on demographic.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Like making it not incendiary and making it more of a think piece where it's just like balanced and getting
and just kind of take what you want from it, but this is what we found during our exploration.
And it's just like, I think it's just a good, like, so obviously it's like the first documentary we've both made, so it's just a good way of finding your feet as well, and just sort of how figuring out the best way to approach it, and there's stuff that we'll learn to do and not to do again, you know, so it's more like that in a way.
And so you're already thinking about making more in the future?
Yeah, I don't know what yet, but like wait till like all these deadlines go through. But I reckon I can make a couple more.
And another question from him was, what do you think about appeals to people about film as a format for messages such as the one that you're trying to put across with this documentary, as opposed to other forms of media? As opposed to like other forms of media.
I think it's quite. I think when you make something beautiful, people will listen to it. I know that sounds really like contrived and superficial, but it is kind of, when something appeals to like a lot of your senses, you can be very immersed in what it's saying. And I think it's just a nice way to present. It's quite a personal way as well, isn't it? What we're dealing with is quite a sensitive issue, and we're kind of, you know, those people are allowing us to film them and have their kind of voices and themselves kind of be seen and heard. I think it's really important to give quite an authentic feel. Yeah,
there's a sensitivity to it, definitely.
There's a level of trust there as well.
Like you're, as opposed to say having like a visual art piece or a song, it's like you're sort of marrying those two together, because you have, you know, the picture and the sound. And then as well, obviously with our sort of subject area being around the music, that aids itself well, you know.
And like there's a sense of, I suppose, you've got to be delicate with it as well, because these people that you're interviewing are trusting you to represent them as well. So I don't envy the trickiness of that.
It's tricky, but you know what? Like it's like a really valuable experience. It's really good to like just be so aware of it. Like
well, I really look forward to seeing it. In advance of this chat, I mentioned 5 recommendations from each of you for the listeners. You know, and it can be anything from films, books, particular artist, or anything that you think is worth checking out. Could you give us a quick rundown of those, if you've had time to think of those?
Well, before you go first.
Okay, one of mine isn't necessarily art, but it's just like a life hack for whenever it's really, really sunny and warm outside.
Very relevant.
It's totally topical. So basically me and Tom were in Vietnam over the summer. We discovered these Vietnamese iced coffees, and I started making them at home, and they're amazing. So you just get like ground coffee, really, really strong, load of ice, and some condensed milk in. You've got a coffee dessert, and that's just like been saving me through my exams at the moment, so I just thought I'd mention that.
Love a nice coffee, all about that.
Shout out to Vietnam.
Shout.
So and then keeping us cool. Katrien de Blauwer. She is a female photographer who I love, and she does these really, really beautiful collages of different photos. They're like from separate incidents, but she crops bits of them and puts them together, and it creates a whole new image with a whole new meaning. She's worth checking out. Patsy Stone from Webb, just a queen. I've just been like binge watching Webb at the moment. And then a favourite documentary of mine is Cutie and the Boxer. It's about a married couple who are both artists in New York, and it's about their marriage and also like just being artists as well, and being in the same space and giving each other both room to grow, which I thought was like really beautiful doc. And then finally, shout out to Disc Woman in relation to our documentary. A sort of female collective from New York that are just their slogan is like amplify each other, and it's all about promoting female non-binary people in dance music.
Very relevant.
Well, that sounds yeah, I'm going to put all of these in the description of this podcast as well. So if you send me a list of that afterwards as well, so everyone can get all those names.
I will.
And was that 5 between you?
Vietnamese Iced Coffee recipe as well.
Yeah. So that was your 5, Tori.
That was mine.
Yeah.
So mine. First one is there's a film on Netflix at the moment. It's a French film, and it's called I'm Not an Easy Man, and it's basically this chauvinistic male. Kind of the first 10 minutes, just him being like very like objectifying. And there's a scene where he's catcalling in the street, and he walks headfirst into a lamppost, and then when he wakes up from being unconscious, it's like an alternate reality, and it's a matriarchy instead of a patriarchy, and it basically he experiences life how women and female identifying people often do, and it kind of just shows how ingrained sexism is in today's society, that things you wouldn't even notice. It kind of highlights. There's one particular scene where he is with a woman, she's brought him home, and she takes his top off and reveals all of his chest hair, and she's actually like, that's disgusting, clean yourself, and like walks out. And it's just something that like most girls relate to. Just horrific. So that film, that's great. Also something to watch is just Kimmy Schmidt. I'm sure most people will have watched it. Tina Fey's a queen. It's just a really feel good, lovely series. So that's on Netflix. Big up Netflix. I should be sponsored by them. And then another thing I would definitely recommend is Robert Webb's autobiography, How Not to Be a Boy. Just because Robert Webb is brilliant. Just obviously Peep Show is like pioneering like non-sexist kind of comedy. So yeah, really good read. Another one was Childish Gambino's new track, This Is America.
I've been watching that today. That is
incredibly
incredible.
relevant. Yeah, so important, so visible.
So good.
So yeah, I think that everybody should watch that.
Yeah.
And then my final thing is just something, if you're feeling a little bit blue or like alone or struggling with anything, there's a group on Facebook called Selfish, and it's basically just a really supportive community for anything really. If you just want to feel hyped up about a new thing that you bought, or if you're kind of struggling with mental health, it's really brilliant. So yeah, those are my 5.
Oh well, that's so wholesome, that last one there. Love that.
That's good. It's very
That is a lovely one to end on.
lovely end.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for giving me your time and letting us know what your film's going to be all about. And when can people hope to lay eyes on it, to grip it?
That's a million dollar question. Hoping like end of June. Well, it kind of has to be because basically Tori stops being a student and we need the shit from the uni, so the uni is basically funding our not without even realising it. So
It needs to be done probably by mid-July.
Okay.
We'll have a little screening in Leeds, I think, and then we'll we can't post it online because we want to put it to festivals. They won't allow you to post it online, but we'll definitely on our Instagram stuff, we'll like have all the progress of how everyone's coming along.
Yeah, so follow us on Instagram. That's another plug, please.
Yeah. Plug away. All right. Well, thanks so much again for giving me your time and having a chat. And so send me a list of those recommendations, and I'll whack them in the description so people can check them out. All great stuff.
Will do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
There you have it. An interview with Rach McDermott and Tori Clarkson from the documentary I Tried to Dance It Away, which will be out this summer, and you can find it after it's been submitted for some film festivals, that sort of thing. Like the Facebook page, keep up to date with that. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Probably will be a gap in output of these podcasts for a few weeks after this one, but we should be back in about a month's time or something. So I'll see you then.